Many thanks, Jeannette Baljeu, for being with us today, and many thanks for our members because you're addressing today the CCS bank kind of event that we're organizing. And today the topic is CCS and how to finance CCS. And you agreed because you're convinced by CCS. You told me the other day in the Parliament in Strasbourg. What is the role for this House to help decarbonize while maintaining the industrial base of our industry in Europe?
It's very important. We have such a discussion within the European Parliament, of course, on having a really good, strong, competitive industry and competitive economy. We see the dangers of pressure from abroad, so we must be independent as well.
Yeah.
So therefore it's very important that we look at what is our base industry and can that be clean? Because we still have the goals to, of course, meet our targets.
Yes.
And CCS will play an important and crucial role in that to make that transition towards our green economy and in the independency of the European industry.
It's a perfect bridge in a way.
That is, it's a marriage.
You know that since the last 3 years, we hear a lot about the need for CCS. And the role of CCS is being indeed recognized by the institution and into the ICM strategy, which is the proof that it is the case. But still, we are lagging well behind from what is needed in terms of volumes. And one of the reasons is the de-risking, which is not there yet for investors, but the financing as well. So this is why today we organize this CCS bank kind of event.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's very timely that you have this event, because with the industrial carbon management system, it was only like a plan. So what to do now? This is all about action that we need to take. And of course the de-risking, as you mentioned yourself, is very important. And we see that there are several instruments for that. And your proposal to CCS bank, we also had a hydrogen bank. We know that this will work. And I'm happy to see that the Commission has proposed to have a decarbonization bank, which is very important that we work that out and put it into action, because that is, I think, the way to go.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's exactly why we're so happy to have this decarbonization bank being mentioned and being identified as a need. Now we need to figure out how big it is and how helpful it will be.
Sure. Yeah. But that's up to you as the industry, and of course we all as legislators have to work on that as well.
Thank you, Jeannette. The ITRE committee in the Parliament is currently working on a motion for a resolution for energy-intensive industry. You may have heard about it, I'm sure.
Yes.
And what do you think about it? Is it CCS is needed only for energy-intensive, for hard-to-abate, for power generation? How do you see that?
Yeah, it's very important that we look at all decarbonization efforts, of course.
Yeah.
So CCS is very important to acknowledge, but also renewables. And as I'm always saying, it's green hydrogen, but also blue hydrogen. Don't forget that one. So there's a lot to put in the efforts, but it is very important that we look at the energy-intensive industry, but also very important that we look at those who make the energy, so the power industry, the facilitating industry, because they have a very strong position as well to take in this discussion.
Jeannette, this is absolutely key what you say, because we tend to forget about that very often, because say power generation is renewables and therefore CCS is for hard-to-abate. But the reality is that we need to balance when the renewables are not producing, because they are interruptible, as we all know, and therefore we need to get solutions. And therefore this solution needs to decarbonize as well in the future.
It's all about transition time, and in the transition time we need several approaches, so this is where we should be working on.
Jeannette, we also hear a lot about the green jobs. We more rarely hear about maintaining the industrial base jobs. What is the role of CCS into all that?
Yeah, it's very important. Of course, we need the base industry, but they have to green, we know that. So we also need to make sure that those who work now in our industry can also make that transition to the green jobs. So it's important that we also look for that, how we can train them, but we need the people, we need the jobs, because we want to keep the industry for our independency and safety in Europe.
Absolutely, and the CCS is also, if you allow me to say so, a value chain that needs to develop, and that will bring jobs as well.
Yeah, definitely. We see it in many transitions, items and topics, that of course a whole new value chain with innovation, with new jobs, but also transition of old jobs to new jobs. A lot of the future for Europe, I believe.
Thank you, Jeannette, and I love your optimism and the way you bring us to some views and perception how to collaborate between policymakers like yourself and the industry. So thank you very much.
Thank you.